Today we see cursor attributes. Okay. Now in the previous session we seen something about the cursor or the scenario of the cursor. Okay. Now in that session we see how these attributes are useful for our cursor or how these attributes guides our cursor. Now see, there are the four different kinds of attributes which always use in your cursor. Okay. Now your first attribute name is %is_open. Okay, and the type is boolean. It means what? It always return the true or false, means it's conditional. This attribute is used to check some condition. Suppose when we use this attribute, suppose I open the cursor and then forget to close it. Okay. Now to check that if my cursor is open or not, so to perform such type of task or to perform such type of checking, we use %is_open. Okay, this is the conditional. Evaluates true if the cursor is open, means it return true or false. If my cursor is open, then it return true, and if my cursor is closed, then it return false. Okay. Now the second and the most important attribute is %not_found. Most probably this attribute is used to close your fetch condition. Okay. Now see how. Now see, it's again a boolean, means you return true or false. Okay. Now suppose, see, evaluates to true if the most recent fetch does not return row. Now in the previous session we seen one data flow diagram. Now this is my, suppose, see, this is my diagram. Now in that scenario, fetch a row from the cursor, means row fetch by the cursor from the temporary memory area. Now suppose there are no row to fetch, it means what? Null value. At that time, how cursor knows that? Close fetching. Okay. So for that we always use continue until the empty. It means what? Now there is no value to fetch, please stop fetching. How this know the cursor? With the help of that %not_found attribute. Clear? With the help of the %not_found attribute. When this %not_found attribute is true, at that time immediately stop your fetching. Now the third is your %found. Similarly, %found evaluates true when there is row to fetch, means if data present into your temporary memory area, then %found is true, otherwise it's false. Evaluates to true if the most recent fetch returns a row. Complement of %found, it means what? It's complement of %found, opposite to each other. Now the third is %row count. Okay, it always a number type, means what? This %row count is always evaluates to the total number of rows written so far, means how many number of rows affected by your cursor. So to find out the rows count affected by your cursor, always use %row count. So this is nothing but the simple scenario of your attributes which use in your cursor. Now see, this is one simple example which totally depend on your cursor. Here select statement fired with the help of the cursor. Now see, open the cursor, loop for the continuously fetching, then fetch, then exit, %not_found again, means the four important is first open it, then fetch it, then exit, means stop the fetching, and last is close the cursor. Now closing cursor is not mandatory, it's automatic closed by your oracle. So here not close cursor syntax, because when you complete your task then it automatically closed by your oracle, but always write close the cursor. Clear? Always write close the cursor. Why? Because when we open, then exact memory allocate to your select statement, and when we close it, then it release that memory. Okay, clear? Now here we see one example. We see one example on the cursor. Okay, we fired a simple select statement with the help of loop and with the help of cursor. Now see, create or replace procedure. Suppose my procedure name is rock underscore cur. Okay, so create or replace procedure name, then is. Okay, now is. Now see here, exact declaration part starts. Okay, now see, select. So here first we declare our cursor. So how we declare our cursor? Cursor name. Suppose my cursor name is C1. Cursor name, then is keyword. Okay, then select statement. Suppose select last underscore name comma salary, last underscore name comma salary from employees. Okay, select last underscore name comma salary from employees, where department underscore ID equal to suppose 50. So this cursor is open for that select statement. Clear? This cursor is open for that select statement. Now let declare one object for that cursor. Now why we declare one object? Now see, this cursor is point the whole data stored into your temporary memory area. Okay, now this is your select statement, and when this select statement is fired by your SQL executor, then stored it into your temporary memory area, and cursor is point to that data. When fetching start, then data propagate from your temp memory area to your PLSQL procedure. Then to store that data, we declare here one object. Now suppose my object name is suppose rec underscore emp. This is my object name. Now how gonna we declare the object? Now see, this is my object name, and then C1% row type. This is nothing but how gonna we declare the object. Now see, this object is hold all data type which hold by your cursor. Okay, so this is nothing but the declaration of object with your cursor name. Then executable part starts. So start with your begin. Okay, now see, what is my first task? Open it. Why we open? To allocate a memory for that select statement. So open C1. Clear? Then loop. Why we loop? To perform the repetitive task or apply the multiple fetching into from your temp memory area to your PLSQL procedure. Then fetch fetch C1 into where? Your rec underscore emp. This is your record name. Now see, fetch C1 means C1 is point to some rows, and this rows is stored into that rec underscore emp. Okay, now then after your fetching, immediately pass your exit statement. Exit when C1% not found. Okay, fetch, and if no data to fetch, then immediately exit when C1% not found. Okay, then this exit statement is used to stop your fetching. Then after that, dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. This is my dbms, and after that immediately, now see, my whole data is stored into that record, correct? My whole data is stored into that record. So at that time, okay, my whole data is stored into that record. So how gonna we fetch specific value from that record? Record name dot last underscore name. Record name dot last underscore name. Again concatenate. Suppose again I want to display the salary, then again record name and your salary column. So this is nothing but the exact fetching. Open the cursor, loop start, continuously fetching, exit when there is no data to fetch, and dbms means used to print or to check my flow is correct or not, and then immediately end of your loop, then close the cursor. Clear? And then after close the cursor, first end the loop, close the cursor, then end of your procedure. Clear? So this is nothing but your simple cursor program. This is nothing but simple cursor program. Now, how gonna we see the error? With the help of show error. So immediately remove and then procedure created. Clear? Okay. So this is nothing but the exact scenario or how we create our procedure. Now how gonna we execute it? Execute and your procedure name proc underscore cur. Then again set server output on, and again same execute your program. Now see, these are the data which fetched by your cursor and stored into your record. So this is nothing but a simple example of your cursor. This is the declaration part of your cursor. This is open, how we fetch it, how we exit, and how we close it. Okay, thank you.